Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Shonky Lab. I'm Elton, and joining me together is my good friend and guest producer this time round, Mr. Lee Harvey.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
You all right?
Forget you got a wave this time, haven't you?
Yeah, kind of have to wave.
Yeah.
It's kind of the law now that you have to wave.
It's more interactive. I can't just be lying on my bed in my pants like I would normally.
It feels weird that you have to put clothes on before podcasting, doesn't it?
I know.
Feels wrong. But yeah, we are here to talk. What is a topic that we're going to be covering today? Because I think I've seen this before,
Okay.
but I'm guessing. Oh, hang on, it's kicking off on my phone now. Oh, nuts! I should have muted it. Why didn't I mute it?
Oh, it's unprofessional.
I know.
Unprofessional.
You brought this topic up, didn't you? So, would you like to introduce it?
Sure. We're going to be talking about the Winter Olympics,
Ooh.
which has officially started today. Although it's been going on for a couple of days, which is something I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had a bucket list, that would be the only thing that would be on it, just to go to watch it because it's brilliant. But I mean, I just mentioned it to you, and you went, yeah, let's do that." That was the discussion.
Yeah, that was
like it was brought up.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to do Friday? Yeah, right. What have we got? The Winter Olympics is on. That'll do. Okay, off we go.
Sounds good. Yeah. If people want to join us for future events as well, that's how easy it is. Come up with a topic and go, I don't know. Do you remember that book, Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley? I want to talk about that. Brilliant. I've never read it.
Yeah,
but
3 hours of content right there.
I reckon we could get at least 2.
We always manage to get 2.
Give it a bloody good go as well. So this is the front cover. What do we think of that? Fly fishing. Jeez. And then we could talk about the adverts. Oh, it'd be crazy. Then we could talk about Yellow Pages adverts. Oh, the fun we could have.
I was trying to think what it was. It wasn't the sweets, was it? It was Yellow Pages. I remember.
Yeah, it was the Yellow Pages. And then like you had the Hornby HOO. Oh, am I actually doing this now, aren't we? Oh, no.
Well,
no.
See, we've gone like within a minute.
Yep.
You just basically mentioned the Winter Olympics, and that's it. And then we've moved on.
Okay.
And now we're talking about model railways.
Yeah, I have a question about the Winter Olympics then.
Okay, we're off. We've started.
The opening ceremony is what, today, or has been today, or will be tonight?
It has been, yeah. So it's in Beijing, and so it kind of their day starts around midday, I think, doesn't it? Sorry, midnight. Our time.
Days normally start 1 minute after midnight. Yes, this is true.
So the sporting day.
The sporting day, okay.
So, like the morning, as in when the sports start, is
okay.
Over here at the UK time is roughly sort of midnight, 1 a.m.
Right, okay. I'm slowly catching up with you now, yes.
So their stuff all starts, the day's sport at the Olympics starts to finish around midday here, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but it's something like that. So, yes, it has been on this evening. It's finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are there events before the opening ceremony?
I think it's just that, this is true of the Summer Games as well, is that the Olympics is such a massive thing now. There's just so much going on that they've just got to kind of fit it all in.
I know, but why I know they have to fit it in, and it's a massive scheduling nightmare, I would have thought. But why don't they just do the opening ceremony a week earlier? Have 2 days off. Everyone get to know everyone mingle around, swap apartments. If you don't like that person, swap another apartment, and then start. It seems logical.
Some of it's like little qualifying things, or it's just like
qualifying. They're at the Olympics. They should have done that by now.
Yeah, but there's so many people that want to play, and not everyone's that good.
Right.
So you have to weed out the chaff before you get to the actual decent people. But at the same time, because it's the Olympics, everyone's going to have a go. So it's like, okay, you can come to the Olympics. Oh, but you can't. You failed to get beyond the opening ceremony. Thanks for coming.
Imagine 4 years of training and you're out before it officially begins. You went to the Olympics, you turn up, and now you sit around for 3 weeks watching your friend George and Daisy doing really, really well, getting golds and silvers, and you're sat there going, yeah, I was out 10 minutes into the first day. Fell over, broke my leg.
That happened last time to one of the British snowboarders. She broke her wrist.
Yep.
Like a couple of days practicing before so she'd gone out there, got all her kit, done the opening ceremonies and all that. Broke her wrist a couple of days before her event. Katie Ormerod, her name was, I think. Was like, oh no, it's on my wrist. I can carry on. And then the next day, it broke her ankle in a really bad way that required pins and loads of operations and rehab for a year in awfulness. Like,
oh dear!
A day before the actual event started.
That's
been a nightmare.
Yeah, that's rubbish.
At least if you didn't qualify, you can go, well, I was just crap.
Well, yeah, you've paid for your trip out there, haven't you?
Yeah, well, someone has. Probably not if you're a British team member, or maybe they do pay for themselves. I don't know.
I don't know. Because it's an amateur sport, though, isn't it? Or they are yeah. It's always been promoted as amateurs, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they relaxed that a long time ago. And then you've got people like, talking about the summer games as well, people like Usain Bolt, he's amateur, but then he gets so much endorsement from various different things that he's not, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. He's making the mega bucks running around the world, isn't it? Well, not running around the world, in like 10-second intervals around the world.
Yeah.
That would be bobbins to watch. No, actually, I think I would pay a streaming service to watch him do 10 seconds per day around the world. See how long it takes him.
As somebody with ADHD, 10 seconds, I'm down with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. I'm moving on to something else now.
But then he's not allowed to move from that spot. He finishes, crosses the line, slows down. Right, stay there, Usain. We'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time, almost.
It's got to run back. Yeah.
No, then he carries on from that spot for another 10 seconds.
He's just going around the whole...
He's going around the world.
Circumference of the world. Okay,
yeah.
Right. Does he have to swim for 10 seconds and then hold it?
No, he's on a ferry.
Oh, right.
And he runs the length of the ferry.
Yeah.
And then the ferry moves. And then you come back to him the next day, and then he runs the length of the ferry again.
Right. He doesn't have to, as the ferry moves forward, does he have to sort of slowly walk backwards?
Well, they drop anchor.
Spot? Okay, right. Okay. It's good that you've thought of this.
Of course, yes.
That you've planned all this out. But what were we on about? Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Right. So, speaking of amateurs, like our team, the British team, historically has been made up of, or a lot of the better athletes have come from the army or the military.
Oh, okay.
Because they're always, they're big on look at the opportunities you can have and look at the things you can do if you're in the military. And so they give them all the time to go and train and practice. And they're already, in the military, so they're fit people anyway.
It's a good advert for them as well, isn't
it? Exactly. And they get all these opportunities and they go to, they spend a lot of time in various countries around the world to be able to do this kind of thing. So that's kind of how we've had good athletes who are not professional, but they're being given the time to actually train. But then, historically for Britain, good is not necessarily good on a world scale at the Winter Olympics. And that's one of the cool things that I love about it, is when you watch the summer game, because you're a sports fan as well.
Yes, yeah.
So you pick your side. And in international sport, generally the country that you're from. Not always, but that's usually how it works, right? So the summer games, we're pretty good at that. There's a lot of things going on. We have a lot of athletes that are really good.
Well, there's running and jumping and cycling and swimming and...
Horse dancing, all of that.
Horse dancing, boating.
Yeah. All the things.
Stuff,
So there's always... Certainly since the lottery started funding things, there's always that pressure on athletes to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And as a spectator, as a fan, you want them to do well, and it's kind of stressful. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you want people to, you're willing them to do well because they're the best at this sport.
Yeah,
that doesn't really happen a lot in the Winter Olympics. There's a couple of little things where we're quite good, but generally we're not really expected to do well. I think the last 2 Winter Olympic Games, Britain has won 5 medals in total at each of them, and that is the record for most medals we've won at a Winter Olympics game.
I would like to guess on what we're good at in the Winter Olympics. First would be...
Have a look at the list of what sports there are first.
I've just had an amazing idea of a brilliant, brilliant sport. It will be warming up cars. so every competitor gets a car key, and one of them window scrapers things. Yeah. And then you have to go out to your car, warm it up, de-ice it, and drive it around a track.
You're thinking like things that happen in Britain that should be Winter Olympics.
Winter sports.
Okay, right, go for it. Yeah. So we've got, I'm going to write these down so that we can come back to them.
Okay. So de-icing cars.
De-icing cars, okay, yeah.
Gritting pavements.
Gritting, okay.
I think that would work really well.
Yeah.
Because then you don't need a car or anything else. You could just do that. And it'll be the first one to...
It's kind of like why football's popular, because you don't need a lot of equipment for it.
Well, imagine...
Like anyone can join in.
They should have the 100-meter run-in in the Winter Olympics, but each... bear with me. Each country gets a lane. And so, let's say Britain has lane 1, and so they have to grit that. So if your runner slips on the ice... You're clearly it leads into another game, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah.
So yeah, gritting. Oh my! I'm trying to think now. I can't think of anything that would work in the winter. I'll have to come back.
What happens in Britain in the winter, basically?
Well, I think I've just described my whole winter, really.
Sliding down hills on bin bags.
Oh, yes. Yeah, tea trays. None of this proper tobogganing type thing.
On tea trays and bin bags, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Drying out gloves on radiators.
How would that be competitive?
I don't know. I just like the idea of it.
Yeah. Welcome to the Beijing Stadium, where you join us for the first round in drying out gloves.
Well, I think we'd be rubbish,
the British
wouldn't we?
competitors there. That's Miss Lloyd Jones.
Yeah.
He's using the silk pair of gloves today. And he's dropped one. Oh, calamity.
There you go. There's the drama. Unfortunately, Susan has gone for the tweed glove, which retains the water immensely. And will not be drying for at least half hour. She will be low down on the scores.
She will get some high style points, though, Elton, if she can pull this one off.
High style?
It's an extremely difficult glove to dry.
I agree, yes.
With high rewards and high scores if she can manage it.
I'm actually quite liking this idea of me and you commentating on just stuff. They could press the red button. They could press the red button, and we're now cut into the gloves. There they are, close. Oh, look at the close up, the slow motion of the glove as the water drips off.
Yeah, and look, there's a little bit of steam there. It's really working now. Mm-hmm. That radiator heat is getting right through that tweed glove, and off comes the water. This could be a historic moment for the British winter team.
Making cups of tea.
Okay.
No, it will be...
like mulled wine or something. Yeah.
No, it would be from like a Sunday morning, watching your son play football. You have to go to the tea shop, which is normally like a little caravan with like a slidey out window thing.
Yeah.
You have to go to that, and you have the event would be carrying 3 Ts from there past various obstacles, i.e. dogs, rope, children,
dog turd,
yeah, and stuff like that.
Having footballs thrown at you.
Across a car park as well.
Yeah. Some like boy racer flying past.
Yeah, there you go. There's your third one.
That's the 5th one.
Is that the 5th one?
My
God, we've almost got an event here. You wait until Adidas get into this. They'll be supplying us with tweed gloves throughout the year.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say. So, like some of those that you've mentioned, certainly the gritting. I mean, curling is one of the sports in the real, some might say lesser Winter Olympics. So is that not similar? You know, because you've got your broomsticks out. Well, actually, do you know about curling?
I do. Right, okay.
Let's go
the winter. Sorry?
Go on. I was going to say, let's go through the sports, shall we?
Okay, let's go through the sports. Let me pull these up.
See what you know.
What I know. So I'm going to start on the top left. We have Alpine Skiing. I'm guessing that's going through the gates. People shaking cowbells.
Yes. Oh, cowbells. Cowbells are one of the best things about the Winter Games. It's just that atmosphere of it.
Yeah.
Just somebody goes, everyone's going, go, 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 go. And there's a cowbell waving around and some lunatic is hurting themselves down a mountain. Oh, brilliant. But yeah, so Alpine skiing is, you know, what it says in the tin. Skiing.
So that is skiing, like fast skiing through gates, get to the bottom as quickly as you can. There's no jumping or style points or anything like that, is there? It's just, you start at the top, you want to get to the bottom.
Yeah, so you got the... I think it might just be called Alpine Skiing, but the one where, like you say, go through the gates, get fast, get to the bottom as quick as you can. There's the slalom, where the gates are sort of a lot closer together and they're quite far apart. So you have to weave. So it's not quite as fast, but it's a bit more difficult, I suppose.
Do you ever watch it now and just watch them and go, my knees wouldn't be able to do that?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. I do worry about that.
This is one of the appeals to me of the whole thing. Is all of it is mental. You know what I mean? It's like there's very few things on there where you're not putting yourself in massive danger.
Every day you have the risk of slipping over, don't you?
Yeah, and even one of the slow cross-country skiing things, the biathlon, you're carrying a rifle with you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's one of... I was going to leave that one till last because I think that's brilliant.
We'll come back to that, yeah.
Okay.
So that's Alpine skiing. So that's what that is. So I guess you're going to skip over the next one and go straight to the...
Let's go to the bobsleigh.
Yeah.
So this is like 4 people hurtling down in like a big Smarties jar, isn't it?
Yeah. So like we were saying about sliding down things on bin bags and tea trays and whatever else, bobsleigh is one of the things that the British can do. We're all right.
It terrifies me. I don't know if I'd be able to get into one of them things.
I'd have a go.
Okay.
But if we were doing it,
it's
probably not going to be going very fast, is it?
Well, I don't know if I get in it. I'll be heavier than what I was, so which is very much a shame. But I'm trying to work on that.
Would fall flat on our ass.
Yeah.
At the top, just trying to push it and jump in.
No, there are only 2 positions out of the 4 that are worth doing, and it's either driving,
right,
or the brakeman or woman is at the back, aren't they?
Yeah, so there's different sizes as well. So you can have like just 2 people and that's it.
So what do the other 2 do in the 4-person bobsleigh?
Well, it's all about speed in terms of how quick you can push the thing. So obviously at the start, so you've got 4 people, that's better than 2.
Yeah.
And then it's just keeping out of the way.
So
making sure you get in smoothly and quickly, and then keeping your head down so you know you're not, so you're aerodynamic and get in the right place and stay in there.
So the two in the middle are very much like the two dancers in E17. You had Tony Mortimer, the other dude who nearly ran himself over, Brian Harvey,
yeah.
and then the other two middle bobsleighers.
Yes,
exactly right. Okay.
But that you must have seen Cool Runnings.
Of course, yes.
Because no conversation about the Winter Olympics can be had without Cool Runnings.
No, I've seen that a couple of times. I forget if it's any good or not.
I remember it being good. I haven't seen it for a long time. I do remember it being good. But that team, the Jamaican bobsleigh team, is what we're talking about in case you don't know. First of all, Jamaica. Why have they got a bobsleigh team? But it comes from an American guy, I forget his name, who was over there on holiday or something. We lived there, I don't know, and just thought, there's a load of athletes here, good athletes.
Yeah.
Surely, because like you say, most of it is you got your driver who's got to be like really skilled, but most of the rest of it is just having people who are super fast and can get that thing moving as quick as they can.
Good, powerful acceleration in their legs.
So he was like, well, let's give it a go, and they did.
Cool.
And they went to Calgary because Cool Running is based on a true event. They went to Calgary to 1988, and they competed and crashed and didn't finish all their runs, but they were applauded off. So they pushed the sled down the rest of the track.
Yep.
And were applauded and cheered off. And since then, Jamaica's had bobsleigh teams.
Really? Yeah. Okay, so there'll be one this year then, yes?
Yes, yeah, they qualified. I think they've got a women's one as well, actually. But I was watching something about it earlier on, and when you go to Jamaica and the airports, there's often in the gift shops and things little bobsleigh stuff like T-shirts and things like that.
Yeah,
because they're all still quite proud of having a bobsleigh team.
That's cool. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, so that's cool. So, yeah, so that is like you say, it's a bullet train.
Yeah,
but manually, it's shaped like that kind of shape. 4 people, 2 people. There might even be a 1-person one. I'm not sure. They start at the top of a big ice track and they push it as fast as they can, and everyone jumps in, and then it hurtles its way down and getting faster and faster and faster down to the bottom.
Yeah,
and it's mental.
Yeah,
and massively dangerous.
I never know whether do they re-ice these rinks. In like ice hockey, they'll come out with that machine and cut the top surface of the ice off, won't they? If it gets a bit too chawed up. Do they do that on the bobsleigh thing?
I think they...
Do they stand at the top with kettles and just pour water down?
I think it happens like between days, maybe.
Okay.
I don't think they'll have a run. So everyone will have their first run, and then they'll re-ice it. I don't think they'll do that. But it might be you've got the day's competitions done, and then just get a hose pipe and pour water down it, I suppose. But those grooves where the blades go,
yeah.
So these things have blades on the bottom, which is kind of like an ice skate, which is where the speed is coming from. I imagine they'll just stay there.
Yeah.
I actually don't know, but yeah. But then you'll have natural snowfall, which might freeze over as well.
Yeah. Hellhammer 1988 in the chat says, "Is there any events which aren't batshit crazy?"
I was gonna think figure skating, maybe. I mean, but that is a little bit mental.
It's dancing, but on ice.
Yeah.
Still lose a finger.
Well, that's the clue, isn't it? Virtually everything is on ice.
Yeah. Everything is cold. If you stick your tongue on it, it'll probably freeze onto it.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the list. There's not... so cross-country skiing is probably the least mad, because that is a very long ski, but it's not like downhill where it's absolutely mad.
No, it looks brutal, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard work, definitely, but it's probably a lot less dangerous. And curling, obviously, I don't think there's going to be too many curling injuries.
Hang on, is that the next one? Hang on a minute. Let's not jump too far. Yeah, let's do cross country skiing then. So
yeah,
does that appeal to you to watch it, or does it just look like someone who's struggling to actually get across somewhere where they could be on like a skidoo going somewhere else instead?
I think I don't think it would appeal to me. You know, I'm not going to sort of get up at 2 a.m. to watch the cross country skiing.
Yeah.
It looks lovely. If I was wherever the event was, I think you'd go and watch it. In fact, I say that I know I would, because when the Summer Olympics was in London, I went and watched the speed walking. So yeah, I would absolutely go to watch the cross country skiing.
When was that? 2012, wasn't it?
So it's 2012, yeah.
So was that? Hang on, no, that wouldn't have been because we spoke about the speed walking. Because we did speed walking at one point, didn't we?
We did sport, I think, generally, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, sports events.
That was on the front cover of the podcast.
Speed walking.
Speed walking. Yeah. So cross country skiing is probably the dullest of all of the things, I think. But it still has that atmosphere of a Winter Games. Like I said, the cowbells, snow, beautiful surroundings, looks absolutely clean and lovely.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, but I don't think I'd watch it more than a sort of, maybe if someone's got like a 10-minute highlights, this person won. Fantastic.
It's a trans world sport episode, isn't it?
So. Yeah. And you're a sport as well. Yeah, they cover loads of the Winter Games.
Yeah, and in cross country skiing, this person won. Brilliant. Moving on to the next one, and that's it. But they always
from Norway or somewhere.
Yeah, they always look. You ever walked up a hill with a big stick, and you always lean on that stick as you get to the top, and you're like, oh, I'm getting a little tired, but I shouldn't be. But you're kind of leaning on it a little bit more and a little bit more. They look like they're pushing the earth around with these because they're so they're using their legs, but also forcing their whole body up on these what are they called, the poles, aren't they?
Yeah. It's just like skiing poles, walking poles.
Yeah,
I don't know. You can probably get them in decathlon, whatever they are.
Right. But yeah, it just looks so much effort. I don't know.
Yeah, because I expect, so it's a lot of up and down. You're not just sort of going down slopes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine it's harder to get up a hill in skis because if you stop moving when you're walking, you'll just stay there. Like if you're just walking up a hill in Derbyshire, for example.
Yep.
Whereas if you do that on this course, gravity will start bringing you back.
But so they're professional skiers. They know how to stop.
They are, yeah. But what I mean is that's like probably harder.
They don't just get there and go, oh, he's going again.
But that's what I mean. You probably, I don't know because I've never tried, but you're probably pushing against a lot more.
I think we found the only perpetual motion engine with just skiers on a slope. Just keep them going.
But you can do this in the UK. Have you seen roller skis? So you got roller blades, the ice skates, but with wheels on.
Yep.
The equivalent in skis exist, and apparently around in Surrey, Windsor, maybe.
Really?
People go around doing cross country skiing in like parks in the UK, and I've seen people apparently do biathlon as well with a laser rifle, not like some kind of futuristic thing, more like a laser quest thing.
Roller skis, hang on.
But we're going to come back to biathlon, aren't we?
Oh, okay. So these are like scooters, but without the
the handle. Yeah,
the handles.
They're just strapped to you. Well, you got a scooter on each foot, I suppose.
Yeah,
you still got to know how to actually ski, I guess.
Someone actually came up with that.
Of course they did. Because we've had rollerblades forever. I imagine it wasn't a massive leap for someone to go, I can do that with skis.
Now, listen here, lads. What I've been thinking of is you got these rollerblades and they're getting a bit cocky. And I like my skiing. So what I want to do, I want to get these suckers and we're going to create a long ski, but we're going to put wheels at the front and the back. Oh, he sounds good. Yeah, yeah. Well, let's go for it. Good. Make it happen. I don't know why it's like an East End gangster saying that.
That's how all inventions are made in the East
In
End.
the East End, yes,
With
where they all come
gangsters.
from. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the next one? Oh,
Uh,
yeah, curling.
okay,
You
curling.
must know about curling.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone knows about curling.
It's
Do you
brilliant.
remember? Was it 2002 when I think Britain won? If there's anyone listening from abroad who won't have a clue what we're on about now, but I think
Okay.
we won a curling medal, and for a fortnight, the whole country was obsessed with this daft game.
Okay. I think I was introduced to this game via Transworld Sport many, many moons ago. And I think it's brilliant. I would love to have a go at this. But
It was in London. Well, it is in London at the moment.
okay.
There's like you have temporary ice rinks
Mm-hmm.
every winter
Yeah.
in cities around. Somebody near King's Cross, I think it is, has put up like a temporary curling rink,
Right.
and there's loads of you can just book it and go down and do it. And there
Okay.
is in Kent. There's an actual proper permanent curling rink in Kent, obviously.
Do you get excited for it though? It's like bowls though, isn't it? But on ice.
Yeah, so there's always that extra danger.
Mm-hmm.
But although they have special non-slip shoes.
Yeah, because when they all get down the end with the stones at the end, and they all have to come back, and they like kind of glide across.
It's like isn't it like one shoe is slippy and one shoe isn't, or something like that? Because they're always, like you say, pushing themselves along with one foot, and the other one's just sliding on, like the sort of ice equivalent of those wheelie shoes, with the wheels in the heel. That's
it. Yes, it would be that, wouldn't it? Yeah. They always look so in control. I know they've been doing it for years and years, but I think it's a great game. The closest we got is we've got the emoji, the poo emoji.
Yes,
we've got
of him. Yeah,
we've got plastic ones of them with little ball bearings underneath it, and we've got like a curling mat that you lay down on a table, and then you push these up to the target thing at the end.
Cool. But do you have people sweeping?
No.
That's the mental thing about this game.
Yeah.
It's like, so for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, curling is, I couldn't tell you what the distance of the rink is, but it's a sheet of ice, and at one end is like a target, isn't it? Like a bullseye. A couple 3 rings, and you've got, is it 10 stones, 9 stones, something like that?
I don't know how many stones.
And they're proper granite, aren't they? Proper stone that have been polished so much, so they're all smooth and shiny, and they've got a handle on top. And the idea is to slide your stone across and get it to the middle of the target, and then the other team has a go, and they can start knocking the stones out of the way and things like that. And the more you get, is it a point for the closest stone? So if you've got one stone that's closest, you get a point. If you've got 2 stones before the next team has one close, you get 2 points, that kind of thing.
That's right. It's like bowling with the jack, isn't it? And if you've got 3 closer than the other opponent's ball, then you get the 3 points.
Yeah. But because it's ice, you have these other team members who've got a broom, essentially. I don't know what's on the bottom, but they can sweep away the ice in front of this stone, sometimes really, really hard, and it can change the way the stone moves.
And they can curl the stone with it, can't they?
Hence the name curling.
Curling, there we go. Oh, it's all falling into place, isn't it? There we go.
And you can do, so like how you turn your wrist. So as you sort of set the stone off, sliding down the ice, you can turn it in a way that it will start curling in one direction, and then you can sweep loads and loads to help it on its way. If you haven't quite got enough on it, they'll be like shouting at the people down the rink, rah, and they start sweeping away like crazy to try and get it to curl. Oh, yeah, and it's quite a tense and tactical thing, and I love it. Yeah, it's one of them things like snooker, where you look, somebody explain to you what snooker is, you'd be like, okay, that's shit. Why would I?
Well, that looks well easy. It's like golf. Okay,
Yeah.
Put this little ball in that little cup over there.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's like playing on the cube, isn't it?
Yeah, but once you work out what's going on and you start getting into a match, that you'll be there until it's finished. You're stuck into it,
and you get them sons of guns that sweep the opponent's stones as well. So if you can do all the things you do in balls or bowling, where you hit the opponent's ball or you hit your own ball, and then you can sweep your other ball into the center, or you can sweep an opponent's one off the target. It's brilliant. It's like the best form of sabotage that you're allowed to do.
Because it's on ice, the slightest little dink on one of these stones will send it absolutely flying.
It's like, whoa, he's off.
Yeah, it's not like bowls where they just sort of roll up to it. To knock the balls out of the way, I imagine you've got to give it quite a welly. Whereas these, not really.
No.
If it's moving at a half decent speed, it'll just touch one of the opponent's stones and that will go flying off and that will hit something else and stones will go everywhere and craziness.
Yeah. Incredible game. Silly game, but incredible.
Yes. So if anyone listening only watches one thing from the Winter Olympics, watch the curling.
Okay.
It is brilliant. Yeah.
Next one, figure skating.
Figure skating. Pass. Move along.
It's well, we got to talk about it. It's not for me.
Torval and Dean. Okay, we're done. Right.
It's not for me. It is dancing on ice. Cool, man. It's doing stuff that I can't do very, very well. Spinning around and stuff like that. I have no appreciation for it, though. If I was a dancer or if I was a professional skater, then yeah, man, I would be all over that. But no, it's for people who like figure skating. That's all I can say about figure skating.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that's been around in the Winter Olympics forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the past, it was certainly a lot more high profile, I think, than it is now.
Yeah,
certainly in Britain, anyway. I guess that's probably true in many other countries, but I can't see it being taken out. Well, firstly, there's not that many sports anyway, so you can't really start taking things out. Like
no.
Summer games.
Unless gritting gets put in there.
Yeah. And then glove drawing, We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do a YouTube video of this, the alternative Winter Games.
Going to the shop for bread.
What,
after a heavy snowfall.
I didn't talk about the moguls. Forgot about that one.
What are the moguls?
The moguls. So they're loads of little lumps. And I'm pretty sure it comes under Alpine Skiing. I can't see it on the list.
Maybe is that where they do the thing? like the left, right type thing?
So you start at the top of the hill. This is how much respect we've got for figure skating. Is we've just gone, that exists.
So anyway, we're going all the way back to the beginning. Alpine skiing. I have to start again now.
Start at the top. It might be under freestyle skiing, but we'll get to it anyway.
Okay.
But it starts at the top, and it's just loads and loads of lumps. And like you say, when they've got a ski over them, and their knees are going left to right and just jumping up and down, they can't do good for your spine. But then they'll do little jumps and little flicks and little somersaults and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. It's cool. It's incredibly difficult, like everything else.
I can just see broken bones in the future if I thought about that.
Yeah. I think I saw this morning one of the British athletes, again, in pre-qualifying, just like face planted. It's like bang, out.
And that's not into soft, beautifully fresh snow, is it? No. That's into the floor is ice. And you have broken all your teeth and nose and cheekbones.
Yeah. That we'll give some credit with the figure skaters is in virtually every other thing that you'll watch where they're doing fast things, tricks and jumps and spins on ice or whatever, everyone's got a helmet on, at least. they don't have that in the figure skating.
Well, does that?
If you screw it up, you're going to hurt yourself.
Well, there's always that collective ooh when someone tumbles, and someone can crack their head on it. So does that make them harder than the professional skiers?
So I mean, they're probably just as tough, just as strong as anything else.
I know, but
certainly compared to the curlers.
Going back to the East End, does it make them harder?
I think so. Yeah.
They'll be coming out saying they are well hard.
Yeah. It's kind of the similar argument, I suppose, to when you look at professional wrestlers. It's like just because what they're doing is pantomime, to be able to do it, you've still got to be extremely fit, extremely talented, and very, very hard working to get to that point.
Yeah.
This just doesn't interest me.
Hellhammer.
Well done, everything, but who cares?
In the chat, Hellhammer once again says, the ski jump has to be the most insane sport ever created. Who looks at that massive ramp and goes, I know, I'll jump off that?
Eddie the Eagle Edwards.
Yeah. Well, how many sports do we have to get? I think we're getting there soon, aren't we? Oh no, the three from the end.
So freestyle skiing. So that's the next one, yeah? Are we going to carry on following this list?
Yeah, let's follow this list. Yeah.
Where are we at? So freestyle skiing.
Yeah.
So I think that is relatively new. Came in with all the sort of snowboarding stuff, and it's basically jumping off things and doing tricks.
Big high jumps. It's not half pipes though, is it? It's
yes, yeah, that's in there as well.
Really?
All right, I tell you, we might as well break the thing and cover snowboarding as well with freestyle skiing.
Okay.
Because they're basically the same thing. It's just one lot is on snowboards and one's on skis.
Right.
But they are it's anything you can think of that is skateboarders do. It's that, but on ice.
Yeah.
Snow. So they've got so there is a half pipe one. There's different size jumps. They put loads of obstacles down this track, and you just go and do the obstacles you want.
Like
do
tubes, grinding. Yeah, they're doing the grinding in the skis and doing the crossing and like the crosses of their skis, and they get points for different jumps and twirling and pikes and tucking in and stuff like that.
Yeah, all of that. And there is also the cross events. So, did you watch the Summer Games? So the BMX cross?
It was on weird times, wasn't it? No, I didn't.
So you've seen, is it motocross?
Yes.
So where is it like you got 4 bikes and they're racing on the up and down track, and it's BMXs do it as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's that, but on snow in skis.
Really?
Or snowboards, and it is every bit as mental, because if you don't land, it's got all the jumps and everything, so you're racing against other people.
I could see it with snowboards, but skis, don't you have like the problem with like the poles and the length of the ski as well?
No, not really.
No?
You can have shorter ones.
There's got to be some collisions though, haven't there?
Yeah.
Wicked. I'm there.
So so both of those, that's what I mean. So people will trip over each other or run into each other, or they'll just, not land properly and fall down and miss out. There was one last time in the final of one of the snowboard crosses where this woman was showboating basically because she was so far ahead.
Yeah.
And on the very final jump, just didn't land, fell flat on her ass, and then someone else came by and won the gold. It's like,
really?
Dickhead, yeah.
Incredible scenes.
Yeah, so that's a good one. The cross racing, but so all this snowboarding stuff has come in the last. This may be the third or fourth. I think it's the third one.
Oh, it's got to be more than that, hasn't it? Maybe
it's the fourth.
Snowboarding's well old now. I know it's seen as like a new,
but all the new sort of cool freestyle stuff, all the jumps.
Okay, yeah.
That's been fairly recent.
Okay.
But it's made the event just that little bit more showbiz, a little bit more exciting, because it does come with all the music and all, it's a very youthful games, and the, some of the BBC commentary on that stuff is hilarious and brilliant at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They're just well into it, and it goes viral around the world. Last time around, some of the stuff that they were saying, it's just a lot of fun, and they're just throwing themselves. These kids are just throwing themselves up through half pipes, doing all this stuff, big air things, and you're looking at it and thinking that's incredible. I mean,
snowboarding.
Britain have got like all of it. But it's like Eddie Izzard said, there's two ways to do snowboarding: looking cool or dead. That's it.
Snowboarding is really, really hard. It looks so much fun, and it is, because I'm not saying I've done it to any sort of standard, because I haven't. I think I spent a year trying to learn how to snowboard before my son was born.
Right.
I was like, no, I want to give this a go.
And then you didn't make it into the Olympic team.
I didn't make it into the Olympic team.
I'll have kids instead then.
No, actually not. I stepped aside for someone. But
to devote your life to podcasting.
Yeah. And of course my children as well.
Well, you got to do something in between.
Yeah, exactly. I have to wait for the computer to charge, don't we? So, I've been. I tried for a year, and then me and my friend is really good at snowboarding,
right,
to the point where he just jumps on it and that's it. He's going down. He's doing the grinds and stuff like that. I think he's packed it up now, but he's got his own board. He's got his own boots. He's got his own gloves. He's got all the gear. Looks cool doing it as well. God, I hate him for that as well. And there's me in my joggers. I've got my own boots, but I was borrowing his wife's board. But I stand goofy. There's two ways of standing on a snowboard. There's like normal and goofy, and I always do goofy.
Your left foot forward. Is that what it is?
Hang on.
It's similar to like boxing, southpaw, and that kind of.
I think it's left foot forward. Yeah, because I push with my right foot on a skateboard. And do I do that? No, I can't remember now.
That's the way around, though, isn't it? It's whichever of your feet is the first.
I think I put my right foot forward and pushed my left on a skateboard. And so when I stood, he was always facing me because I was the wrong way on the board. I was stood goofy. And I was just getting to the point where you stand at the top of the hill and you have to have that confidence of leaning into it to go down the hill. Uh-huh. And I was just getting into that. I could do that, and then I could go to my left and then try and swap to the right, and I was getting faster and faster doing that. But every now and again, it'd dig in. And then
you'd fall flat on your ass.
Well...
Or face.
The day I knew I needed to give it up is when I think my toe dug in. Digged in. Is that an actual word? I don't know. My toe dug in, and I landed on my stomach, and the board whacked me on my head. So I kind of scorpion kicked myself.
Is the board still attached to your feet?
It's still attached to my feet. And remember, when you fall, you don't fall flat. You go further. So you're going from that position there to there.
Yeah.
So, you haven't fallen 90 degrees. You've fallen, 125 degrees instead. And, the board... I kind of scorpion kicked myself in the head when the board came back and whacked me about there. I was like, do you know what? I don't bend that way. I'm not supposed to bend that way at all. So
that's my experience with ice skating as well. The first time that you absolutely brain yourself on the ice because your feet will just disappear out from under you.
I've never fallen over ice skating.
Oh, all right.
Honest to God, never fallen over.
Because you've never been ice skating?
I've been ice skating many times. I've never fallen over. It's because I used to do roller skating in the road.
Oh, so you'll be okay with roller skis then?
I'm not doing roller skis, no. And when I say roller skating, I had the Bowers, but instead of like the inline wheels, which I can't stand, it had like the proper trucks on them.
Okay.
Imagine the 80s roller disco with like the leg warmers and the big heavy boots.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but me in a shell suit and no leg warmers. Although I really wanted leg warmers. That's a thing to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's still a thing to have, right?
Let's say yes. Yes.
Right. Should we go on to our next sport?
Yeah, I think we've decided that snowboarding is hard.
Right. We've talked about this one before. The big one. The ice hockey is the next one.
Oh, you love this, don't you?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what came first, my love of the Winter Olympics or ice hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I expect I was watching the Winter Olympics and saw hockey for the first time. And
Okay.
loved it ever since, which would have probably been, I'm going to say, Lillehammer in 1994, maybe.
Yep.
I think. Yeah, it's an amazing game. It's fast, it's violent, it's high scoring, very skilled.
Do they still have the punch ups?
Not so much in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still get a bit rough. They'll still be pushing each other around. But in the international game, if you're fighting, that's it. Out you go from the game. Whereas in North America, in the National Hockey League, the big professional league in the world, it's just a 5-minute penalty usually.
It's part of the game, isn't it? Fighting.
Seriously mental. It's part of the sort of culture of they deal with everything on the ice.
Yeah.
So the Toronto Maple Leafs played a playoff game last year, which they lost, of course, because that's what they do.
Is that your team?
Yeah.
Are they the equivalent of Millwall? Then are they?
No. They're actually they're sort of Tottenham because they're always up there.
Oh, okay.
They won nothing forever.
Right.
I think it's 57 years is the last time they won the league. But they're like the biggest team in the world. Sort of Man United type huge club, but they just win absolutely bugger all. But their captain got an injury, and that was him out of the whole playoffs and done. A really serious bad injury. He's back now, but at the time, and they went and had a fight, even though it was a complete accident, because the sort of assistant captain, the Maple Leafs, was like, "Well, it's hockey. This is what we do."
How'd you ever fight by accident?
Well, no, because it was not premeditated, but so when the game started, he basically just dropped the gloves with the guy who caused the injury, even though it was a complete accident, and they had a bit of a fight because that's how the sport deals with it.
Okay.
So then it's underlined, done, dealt with. Then we move on and carry on with the game.
I wouldn't last 2 minutes.
Good or not? I don't know.
I wouldn't last 2 minutes in that game at all.
No, it is fantastic. Because I can't skate, so I've never had a go. I'd love to.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say I'm running out of time, but then Putin still plays games, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
Vladimir
does.
Putin. You still see him there.
He's actually over there as well. Wasn't he out there for the opening ceremony?
Possibly.
Hasn't he got bigger fish to fry at the moment?
Well, they
or is everything on pause at the moment?
Yeah, it's didn't the Chinese government asked him not to invade the Ukraine while their Olympics was on.
Otherwise, we'll take away your tickets.
because 2022, that's the world.
Yeah.
But apparently, this is not the first time that's happened. That I think it might have even been the last time that the Russians went into Ukraine, or possibly Georgia. They were asked, or they did wait until the Winter Olympics had finished before they did it.
So we've got at least 3 weeks before him trying to step over the line.
Something like that.
Right,
something
okay.
like that.
I reckon, not to get all political on everyone's arse, but I reckon he's just rocking up to the edge and going, I'm just bringing all my friends.
Ooh. Yeah.
I haven't stepped over there, but like his top of his body is like leaning in.
Yeah, am I in? No, not. Oh, we should do a topical politics show as well. That's satire, that is.
There we go.
I was going to say, yeah. Have you ever heard of the Miracle on Ice?
America on Ice or the Miracle on Ice?
The Miracle on Ice.
No, I haven't even
You weren't
heard
right the
America
first
on
time because it
Ice.
is America.
Oh, okay.
So in 1980, so we've been talking about Russia and the Cold War and all that stuff.
Yeah.
In 1980, Lake Placid, was it? No, I've got it written down. Yeah, Salt Lake City. No, that's a different one. Lake Placid, yeah, with you now. It's the American Winter Games.
Yep.
And you've got the big bad Soviet team is there. The Soviet team who are so at this point the Olympics is still completely amateur.
Yep.
So professional players can play in the ice hockey now. They're not doing it this tournament, or rather, the best ones are not doing it this tournament because there was COVID problems, and now the National Hockey League has to catch up because they missed a load of games, so they pulled their players out.
Okay.
But there are still professional players. It's just they're from the sort of second leagues, you know. So it's like if England decided to send a team to the World Cup made up of championship players instead, basically. But then all the other teams are doing the same, so it's kind of even. But 1980, it was still proper amateurs. So you had the Soviet team coming over to America who all worked for coal mines or in various ministries or whatever else.
Okay.
But they didn't because they were professional hockey players who were spending the entire time training for playing ice hockey. But they were registered as workers.
This is the places. Simpsons episode, isn't it? Didn't they do this with like baseball or something like that?
Yes, yeah. Exactly that. So they go over and they're the big bad red machine. They're incredible. The
Ivan Drago.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And this is all real life, remember? And so you had the American team playing in America, and they were basically university students. That was who they made their team out of. But in the semi-final, the American kids won. They won the game.
Okay, there you go.
And it's quite famous in America. Well, everywhere there's films. Well, the film The Miracle on Ice. Look that up. And at the time, Russia or the Soviet Union had just invaded Afghanistan very shortly before. So this is the 80s. It's proper Cold War. People are getting really angsty and nervous about things.
Yeah.
So it's credited with being this huge lift for America during that period when everything was looking bleak, which then led on to 10 years later, the Cold War's over pretty much.
Okay.
But people say that was the start of America getting its mojo, and defeating communism came from that hockey game. One of the things, certainly. Definitely worth looking up. Look for it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll look for that, yeah.
Pretty cool. But it's like another example of how sport generally can bring up these moments. I mean, we talked about the Jamaican bobsleigh team. They've had a film made about them as well, obviously. Mm-hmm. Eddie the Eagle, who's also had a film.
He's had a film, yes. Him. Very, very famous person over in England, yes.
Yes, yeah. He was a... we're coming to ski jumping, aren't we? I'll leave that for a bit. Come back to that. But, ice hockey, fantastic game. Canada, usually pretty good at it.
Yep.
All the Scandinavian teams, Russians, Americans, not the British. We're not very good, but we did win the very first ever Olympic tournament, or one of the very early ones in the 30s.
What, in ice skating? Ice hockey.
Yeah, because we just said, all you good Canadians, you're British now.
Oh, we did that, did we? We pulled that trick. Oh.
And we're still doing it now.
We did that with Greg Rosetsky, didn't we, in tennis?
Yeah, the English cricket team, if they've ever actually won anything, it's probably because it's full of South Africans.
Oh, there you go. We're very good at that.
The only thing we don't do that in, really, is football, isn't it? Everything else. You look at the rugby teams, and it's just full of Pacific Islanders or New Zealanders that we've shoehorned in somewhere. And someone's got like a Welsh grandmother. Okay, in you go.
You say we don't do it we don't do it in international football, but I'm sure we slightly do it in international football, but definitely in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about international teams now. Anyway, but yeah, so ice hockey is that. That's one of the games. What's next?
I'll be watching that. I'm hoping to be watching that anyway. So
it's good. I've got a 5 on Finland. because all the professional players pulled out, so suddenly they're really good.
I was going to say Finland only because of Kimi Räikkönen, but
yeah, they should get to the final hopefully.
Okay, the next one then.
Them against the Russians. So the luge.
Luge.
Now we're on to the sliding sports. We'll do the skeleton as well, I guess. So the luge and the skeleton.
Yeah.
One is sliding down the same bobsleigh track, so it's ice curve things, sliding down it on your front face first.
That's skeleton.
Yes.
Yep.
And the other one is doing exactly the same, but on your back feet first.
The luge, yes.
Yes. And it's as mental as it sounds.
If you had a choice, and you're standing at the top of the hill, and you've been told, no, you are going down this on this kind of sled type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What way are you going? Are you going skeleton?
Skeleton, yeah. I'm going face first.
Yeah. I think you have to, don't you?
See where I'm going. I might change my mind halfway down, but at the start, I want to see what's coming.
Yeah, I think
to know when to brace.
Because laying on your back doing it, then you have to look over your body, don't you? And that requires neck muscles, and I don't have any neck muscles whatsoever. I can barely hold my head up now.
I think both ways require muscles that you or I have got. But I definitely do skeleton. That looks mental. I'd love it.
It does look bonkers, doesn't it? Yeah. I think it's the thing that I think I've noticed in the past, because they use their hands as well as like air brakes. Mm-hmm. They use their feet as well for like guiding air and trying to turn a little bit as well. So it's all
all you've got to steer with is your feet and your body, basically.
Yeah, trying to push your body into it. But it's tiny little things like that where you're doing that with your hand, like the long jump. I'm sure we're going to be talking about that in a minute. So it's all them little things you got to look out for. And in the slow motion, you're watching it, the feet going like that, and the hands doing this. It's incredibly brave.
Massively, and it if you make a tiny little mistake at the top of the track,
you're gone.
Well, yeah. If you make a big mistake, you're out. But like the tiny little mistake at the top of the track, by the time you get down to the bottom, you're swinging all over the place because it just gets worse. And unless you can somehow manage to pull it back, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah,
and you've got to be like pinpoint perfect. And they were talking like the luge, I think, is measured in 1,000th of a second. And yet you still get ties. You still get people who would do the thing in exactly the same
so 4 decimal places then, yes?
Yeah.
Wicked. I do remember watching it before.
Go on.
I do remember watching it before, and it's... they've gone a little... All of a sudden, you become a professional. You know exactly how this sport works, don't you?
Absolutely.
It happens...
Any Olympic sport, everyone is instantly an expert as soon as they watch it. Even though the only time you ever watch it is during the Olympics. So you get 2 weeks in every 4 years.
It's the same with when tennis rolls around. Everyone's like, that's that great shot. Great shot.
At least that's every year, though.
Yeah. And snooker comes around. You're like, I think I might watch the final tonight. It's been on for 2 weeks. You're like... I should really watch the end of it just so I know what to talk about at the end. And you're like, absolutely. Great shot. That was amazing. When he potted that pink, that was the turning point. I knew it then. It was all coming home then.
I mean, I'm apart from the ice hockey, which I watch loads all the time, I'm not watching any of these other things except for every 4 years when it's on.
Exactly, yes.
You might hear about like knowing someone's won a thing, but that's it. No, done.
Yeah. Sorry, I forget where we were now.
We were talking about luge and skeleton.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was it. Everyone becomes an expert because you're watching them go around a corner and you think, he went a little high or she went a little low that time and cut it too far. You need to cut into that one. Look, listen to me. I know exactly what's going on because you need to get low in that one so you can get high in the other one. Then you got carry all that speed down the straight. You become an expert, don't you?
And quite right.
Yeah. And who is to argue about this?
I know physics.
Yeah.
I watch Formula One. I can see racing lines.
Exactly. Yes.
Got all this. It's
Yeah.
easy, innit?
Not tonight, dear. We are watching the luge.
I've got these tickets for Les Mis. It costs me £150. It's front row.
No.
No. The luge is on.
There's some British bloke. He's in the semi-final. He may be getting through. I'm doing the British gangster thing again. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. What's that? Sliding sports. Nordic combined. I don't know a lot about this, to be honest.
Hang on a second. What one is this?
I had a look before. From what I can tell, it's cross-country skiing and ski jumping in a kind of joint thing. So you do one, get some points. Do the other, get some points.
Oh, is it?
Wins.
Isn't it freestyle skiing and cross-country?
I don't think so.
No?
Don't think so. It might be. Like I say, this is the one that I don't really know anything about.
I suppose it's got the logo for ski jumping, hasn't it?
Let's have a look at the guide to Nordic combined, how it works.
Surely that would just be, instead of you getting like the lift up to the top of the hill, you climb it.
Ski up there yourself.
Yeah, you go up it and then jump down it and then go back up again. It's like the penguin thing that you used to be able to get as a kid.
Here we go. Oh, they should have that at your alternative games. Put those in. The penguins. So it's cross-country ski. Right, ski jumping.
Yep.
They all do ski jumping, and it's the only male-only sport in the whole Olympics, summer or winter.
Really?
Apparently. Yeah.
Ooh.
So you do ski jumping, and then whoever wins that starts the cross-country skiing first.
Points and okay, fine.
So that's it. Doesn't sound that interesting.
I think our version sounds a bit better.
So I think what with the penguins?
Yeah, just climbing up the hill to jump down again and then climb up. You got to do that 5 times.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's much better.
And you're timed on it.
Right to the Olympics. Say, oi, sort yourselves out.
I will write to that. Hang on, I've got a pen here.
Put that down.
Just put it down to the Olympics. To the Olympics. I will finish that off once we're off the air in the green room.
Yeah, green air. What we got next? Short track speed skating. Right. So you want to talk about crashes? This is where everyone is crashing into each other. This is like basically your sprinting. So at the summer games, you got Usain Bolt doing his 100 meters and whatever else. This is the same thing: running fast or skating fast.
This is cool. I like this.
Against other people. Yeah, it's good. Again, massively dangerous. Lots of jeopardy. Have you ever heard of what's his name? Stephen Bradbury.
I'm gonna say no.
I didn't think so. Stephen Bradbury is the only Australian gold medal winner at the Winter Olympics in 2002. You might remember this. I think he was like the 8th best in the world. Maybe he wasn't.
Was he?
Top.
Sorry, was this like the last lap thing? Okay.
So he got into the final.
Yeah.
Because people fell over, and he ended up in the top 2. So he's already way above where he was expecting to be.
He lucked out, didn't he?
Yeah. And I think there was like 5 skaters because he should have only had 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's already in there where he shouldn't be.
Oh, balls.
And he decides, what I'm going to do is, these guys, all the Koreans and the Dutch people, they're all much better than me. I'm not going to beat them. I'll just get out of the way and hope for the best.
Yeah.
So
just enjoy the view. I was going to be watching this on TV. I might as well just be on track with them watching it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they all skate off. He keeps up with them for a bit, and then they sort of take off in the lead. It comes down to the very last corner, literally the last corner, and then one guy clips the skate of another guy who the bloke behind tries to get out of the way. He hits one of the little things on the floor, negating where the track is.
Yeah.
They all hit each other, go flying into the barriers at the side, and this Australian bloke is just casually skating around the back, just like, I've won. He's won a gold medal.
I do remember this, yeah.
By getting through 2 rounds, he obviously had to get through the first sort of rounds by being faster than people, but he's got through the semi-final and then gold medal just by not falling over.
Brilliant. It's the ultimate in participation medal, isn't it? Here, have a gold. Bravo.
Yeah, and he's like a legend in Australia.
That's amazing.
That's exactly their kind of attitude to things, isn't it?
Yeah. Just let them do it. Let them do all the hard work, and if they screw up,
it's all good.
And that was probably his game plan as well. I've got through the last round like this.
Yeah,
it probably won't happen again, but you never know. If I just back off, let it happen, and that's what happened. He he could have almost skated backwards. I would have skated backwards past them. You would have spun around
past,
gone. All right, guys. They're all like arms and legs tangled up in the barrier.
Oh yeah, you've fallen over, have you? Bonza. No worries, mate.
Oh, Struth, you've all fallen over, haven't you? Jeez.
Take me gold home. No worries. Yeah.
Blimey. Well, take this home to the missus. Throw her a beer. Settle down with the dog.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So speed skating is, great. Again, fast, prone to people flying into barriers, flying into each other.
I'll be watching it.
Exciting, good stuff. They're starting to do relays this year, which I've not seen before. I don't know how that's going to work.
Passing a baton?
Possibly, or maybe you get past a point and then someone starts somewhere else. I mean, in a sport where people constantly collide into each other, what more do you need? More people on the ice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Double the amount of people on the ice.
Absolutely. Go for it. So look forward to that, see how that goes.
Okay.
What we got? What's next?
We've done skeleton.
Ski jumping, that's the one that we've been saving ourselves for.
Yep.
So, go for it.
Ski jumping. This is definitely the top 5 of utter mentalist sports. Mm-hmm. You are on skis, which terrifies me anyway.
You've got no poles or anything like that either, have you? It's just your arms and your skis.
And you're kind of locked into these grooves.
Yep.
And so you have to... I wouldn't even say that
you on an arm.
You're not really skiing down there. You're holding on for dear life, really. And I don't know how long the jump is, but you whiz down this hill on skis with no poles and then jump at the end of it to try and go the furthest.
So I was reading about Eddie the Eagle Edwards before, and they were saying the 2 jumps that he did was 70 meters and 90 meters, as in the jump is 70 meters high.
Yep.
Where you start, or 90 meters high. So that's not the distance that he covered.
That's 90 meters
straight up.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So you start as soon as you've left the ice.
Yeah.
You start 90 meters above the ground. You've got nothing. You got a helmet on, if you're lucky, and some goggles, and that's it. There's
so many things to get your head over. You have to have no fear whatsoever going down that slope.
Yeah.
That first time that you do that on the big one as well, because there are smaller ones.
Yeah.
It must be exhilarating and terrifying at the same time.
Absolutely.
I think once you, obviously speaking from a sportsman's stance
you have seen it before, so therefore you are an expert.
I am an expert.
The Olympics have officially started making us all experts.
We are now experts. Yes, that's good. So, but when you're jumping and flying through the air, because you are flying through the air, it's falling with style, but you are falling through the air.
Yeah.
And once again, you watch their hands, and their hands are flickering away and stuff like this. Is like a gift. Someone's going to gift this, isn't they? But your hands are flickering away and controlling the air and movement and stuff like that, and it looks brilliant in slow motion. And then I like to think of it as the ground comes up slowly to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is curved. And so you're not just jumping and then landing 90 meters down on a flat surface. It is curving away, so you are going to land with it. And sometimes when these guides, they butter the bread as they land, don't they? It's almost like the perfect airplane landing where you get no bounce or anything like that. It's just pure,
just gliding on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And when it's done like that, I golf clap. I go, oh, that was a good jump. Oh, that was long. Oh, he could have gone longer.
Yeah, he's done that well, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed this time. That was a really good one.
See, that's not so bad. It's when you look at the guy who's done it next and you go, oh, that wasn't good. That's where we look like idiots.
That's a poor landing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he landed. Yeah. Way he landed, he should have gone for the other foot forward. You know, he just wasn't in control all the way through that flight, was he?
What a dick.
Basically boils down to that, doesn't it? What a dick. What a massive
I wouldn't
bell.
have done it like that. If I was there, I would have done it like the first guy.
I am disgusted the way that he treated that flight. He should be ashamed of himself and does not deserve that bronze medal that he's walking away with.
Absolutely.
Shame on them.
Right. What's next? We've done snowboarding.
Yep.
Have we done speed skating as well? Yeah, speed skating is like short track skating, but longer.
Longer track.
Yep. More boring.
It goes on for longer as well. Does it go on for longer?
Yeah, it's like the difference between your 100 and 200 meters.
Okay.
To like your 1500 meters to marathons, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's. Nah.
I'll watch it. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's not the other things.
No, and the one that we have been saving.
Oh, of course, yeah. You wanted to talk about the biathlon.
Biathlon. This is. It's like Ironman on snow, isn't it? Yeah. And so you have cross country, but then you have to shoot targets at various stages.
Yeah, and you're carrying your rifle and everything around with you.
Yeah, you're carrying a picnic on your back.
Yep.
You've got a table.
You got to look out for bears because they're always after your picnic baskets. And all that, yeah. That's why you got the rifle. That's probably how it started, actually.
Yeah, I think you're going back to the origins now, aren't you? But I don't
actually. We joke about that. It probably is something to do with wolves and people
and picnic baskets,
like Norway. Yeah.
It was a family of people.
Baskets, yeah.
It was a family of people that just wanted to go out for a quiet picnic.
Yeah,
but couldn't
for miles and miles.
Yeah,
into this wilderness.
And Dad went on. And then Mum was behind, and the two children trailed behind, and they were never seen again. But, you know, them's the losers, aren't they? They're not the ones stood here with the gold medal around their neck. They were eaten by bears. And I know who I'd rather be. Yeah. The person with the gold medal.
The bear. Yeah, okay, right. No, the gold medal. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't know the rules on this or anything like that. I don't know how many times. There is a set track, and... from memory from 4 years ago, I think they went round it a couple of times. And then you have a rifle range where you have to control your breathing. Remember, your heart is pounding. You're working so hard around this course doing all the cross-country stuff.
And it's timed as well, so, you know, you've got to get on with it. You can't just lie there for ages. And,
and then you have to... Don't you have to do it in, like, prone and standing up? Shooting, I don't know if you do it kneeling as well. I'm not too sure, but you have to do it in different positions and take out 10 targets. Was it 5 targets?
Like that. I think it's 10. 5.
Targets.
Maybe it's varied depending on different stage. I don't know.
Well, I prefer it with 10, so I would say 10. So let's say with 10. And I think it's the control of the cross country skiing, and your body is pumped up, but then you have to control everything and take out these targets.
Yeah,
and
it's if you miss, it's time penalties, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't you have like an extra loop that you have to go around as well? I'm sure there's
yeah.
like a.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I know. There's a penalty basically. You can't just go. Oh, I'll just go really fast and not bother doing the shooting.
That's it. Don't they? If they knock all 10 targets, I'm not saying there are 10 targets, but in this game there are 10
There are,
targets.
yeah.
If they knock all 10 and they can just go straight off around the course again. I think if they miss one, they have to do a lap and then go off around the course. There's like an in circle that a time penalty zone that they have to go around. But it's the control.
If they
but
did that in Formula One.
Don't give me ideas.
A little track in the middle.
Don't give me ideas.
You have to go round.
Poor old car number 9 would just be circling around that, wouldn't he? Be like,
yeah.
I think I'm in the lead. No, you're not. I'm sure I'm in the lead. I've done 20 laps and they've only done 7.
Or even better, if they had to pull up at the pits and then shoot 5 targets and then run back and get back in the car.
I would be well up for that. I would be so up for that.
Any time you start putting rifle shooting into a sport, it suddenly improves it massively, doesn't it?
The only thing that disappoints me, it's like is it air rifles that they use? So there's no bang, there's no gunpowder, is there?
Yeah, that's true. I suspect in the past it might have been proper rifles.
With people like throwing the wadding down and pouring like the gunpowder and tampering it down, pushing the ball down and then lining up and boom, and then doing it all over again.
All the British athletes firing in line. Yeah.
That's when they cut it down from 20 targets to 10. They're like, no, it's too many. We're here half hour just doing this.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible, but just watching the control, their breathing and stuff like that, I think it is like the Iron Man version of Iron Man on skis, really.
Absolutely. And these are not short distances that they're going either.
No, they're not.
Let's just have a look at the thing. Where is it? 20 kilometers.
Really?
That's a long way.
That's impressive.
That's the one that I've seen. I'm sure there's further than that as well. But yeah. And as we've already talked about with the cross-country skiing, it's knackering.
Yeah.
To do it at all. Never mind quickly.
It's knackering. We say as we're sat here talking to each other on the internet on a Friday night.
Yeah, that's true. I say that as if I've never skied in my life. I don't know. Might be really easy.
It could be, actually. Yeah, we haven't tried it, have we?
No.
It could be well easy.
We're sat. Maybe this entire Winter Games is just a big scam.
It could be, yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, look at how difficult this is. Look at how brave I am. Nah, nonsense.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit.
The added danger of slipping over at every single turn. And we have put a bear on the course as well. You never know. You might need to club it.
Yeah, with your air rifle. Try shooting it. It's just not even noticing.
Yeah, just bing. It's like, what are you doing? I'm a bear. You need a bear gun.
Yeah.
Why'd you bring that pea shooter thing? It's like an apple thing, isn't it? Not an apple thing. Potato gun. There you go.
Yeah. What have we got? What's left? Oh, I'm on the wrong.
I think that's it. I think we've covered all the sports.
All the sports.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah. So that's what's going to be going on over in China for the next 17 days, I think.
If you could watch one sport out of all of this, apart from ice hockey.
Oh yeah, I was going to say I've seen that.
What would it be?
Well, as in actually at the Olympics? Or just generally? It's a tough one.
I don't know.
Because I think I'd probably go for one of the snowboarding things.
Okay.
One of the exciting ones. Because the skeleton is the one that the British tend to be really, really good at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you kind of think, I'll go for that, for the atmosphere, and it'd be cool, and we might win things and everything. But then you don't really see a lot. You know, they go flying past, and okay, that was it then. Whereas when you go to, I was thinking maybe one of the skiing or the Alpine skiing or something like that, because you get that atmosphere of a winter games. You know, you're at a big venue. There's people from all over the world are there. There's snow. It's cold. It's that, cowbells, all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's really good.
Yeah, but it's not going to be quite as exciting. It'll still be pretty good, but not quite as fast and awesome as like the slidey sports.
Yeah.
So I think if you snowboarding is kind of in between. You still get that sort of excitement, but also a bit of the alpine feel.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, I mean, so I love wearing my big jumper, celebrating the Winter Games cast. But I love cold things, cold countries, and cold atmospheres and snow and stuff like that. And this games, when I was a kid, just caught my imagination, and I'm always excited for it. Whereas after 2012, the Summer Games, I haven't even watched the last two. I can't tell you what. It's just maybe that's because I went to loads of it because it was in the place I lived and saw loads, and now it's a bit like, okay, don't care.
I'm really looking forward to it now.
Yeah, it's great.
I can't wait.
And it, like I say, with the summer one, there's a bit more expectation, whereas the British team in the Winter Games, it's like, oh, great, we've got a medal, fantastic.
Yeah.
And everyone's just they always seem so happy, all the athletes, when you talk to them. And they're always just really upbeat. Everything about it feels more upbeat.
Yeah.
I think. It feels less serious. Of course it is to the athletes. But it just comes across as more fun, more involving. It's great. I absolutely love it. I'd say to anyone, if you've not tried, if you like sports, give it a watch. If you don't like sports, watch the curling. It's great.
Yeah. Cool.
That's amazing. But yeah, I'm very excited now. I've got going.
Well, I think we've put our beginner's guide to the Winter Olympics down.
I mean, have you got any sort of thoughts about or memories about watching anything in the past? Have you seen it in the past?
I've caught bits in the past. Nothing that I've really set my watch for ever. I like the idea of ice hockey. I'd love to go to an ice hockey match. That's on the list of things I'd like to go do. Because I wanted to go to the American football in...
Oh, okay.
Was it Tottenham Stadium?
Wembley and Tottenham, yeah.
And they had the Atlanta Falcons last time out. I was like,
yes,
my team, brilliant. I'll be going to see them. £60 a ticket. I was like, I don't know. And there's 4 of us that want to go. I was like, oh, that's so much money. And I'd just come off furlough. It's like, no, I can't afford anything like this. So, no.
To watch ice hockey, I think there are teams in Britain, but you're probably going to have a better experience if you can go to Europe.
Yeah.
Germany or Switzerland or Scandinavia, but that's massively expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly. I went to watch the team in Berlin, the Eisbären polar bears in Berlin. That was great. And we watched the game I went to watch was the only time in that whole season that they lost at home. They lost one game at home.
There you go.
We went, but it's cheaper, and the way sports are over in Germany, and you get huge crowds, and the standard is good.
That's like when I go to watch Colchester. They never win when I go to see Colchester. I don't think have I ever seen them win? I think I've seen them draw.
They didn't go when we went. That was like 0-0, wasn't it?
It was a 0-0. Yeah. What a great day that was.
Nobody wins.
No. Sport wins.
Yeah. Well, no, not that day.
Actually, no. My funny bone nearly won when you nearly got twatted by that football that was kicked over in the warm-up. Me and my son just sitting there going, there he is. Oh, that ball. Oh! Nearly got hit by the ball.
I hope I was looking. I hope I would have dodged out of the way.
I think your reactions of it was like something landed near me. I'm sure there was something there.
So apart from ice hockey, then what would you watch?
What would I watch? Okay, so the cross country,
and I'll add to it as well. Which country would you watch?
Oh, I don't know. Curling, that would be good to watch, but watching something fast, like the cross-country skiing, brilliant. You're sat in the crowd watching 40 or however many people it is ski off.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You're like, well, next 20 minutes, should we go and get some hot chocolate? Come back.
Yeah.
You finish your hot chocolate. Oh, here they come. And they go past.
Did you get the cowbell? Oh, you've left it. Oh, for God's sake. We've come all this way.
It's all right. I've got to go back to the chalet. It's 20 miles down the road. I've got to get a bus, a cab, and a ski lift.
On. Yeah.
By the time I get back, they'll be on the third lap, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. So I don't think I'll go see that. Speed skating, I'd go see. Anything you're sliding down, alpine skiing, I'd like to go see. But something that you can see the whole of, like the ski jump, if you're in the crowd, you see it all, don't you? You see the initial takeoff, the jump, the landing, and the crowd going bonkers. So I think that would be a good one.
They have some huge crowds. Well, it looks big anyway, because it tends to be like big stands.
Yeah.
That are as high as the jump almost.
Ski jumping, there you go. I'll go see that.
Yeah.
That looks incredible.
That'd be cool. Well, the next one is in Milan, so you can tick off your ice hockey and your ski jumping in one go. You got 4 years. Start saving.
I'll give it a go. Why not? Cool. Well, should we bring it to an end then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. I think things actually worked on Twitch this time round. They may have been a bit dicey at moments, but I think for the majority of it, it's worked. So thank you to everyone who's stuck with us on that. Look, things do actually
People
work.
Been watching. I haven't noticed the Twitch stream.
I don't know.
Oh, but do you know what we were going to do, which we didn't? We were going to give out sports.
We were going to give out sports, but nobody. I don't think there's many people here.
Oh, I don't know. I can't see.
No, I don't think there's many.
Who was there? There was one person at least.
There was Hellhammer 1988,
Let's give them one then.
Simonden. I'm gonna say, and then Baz 5938. That's my dyslexia kicking in, undiagnosed dyslexia. Yeah. Anyway, thank you to everyone for joining us. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. Hopefully this has worked, and we'll try it again very, very soon. Lee, do you have anything to plug, or you're just gonna, just walked off into the very cold sunset?
We're still working on Shonky History. That is coming.
Ooh.
Got a posh microphone now, so I haven't got a choice. It's made the investment. We'll talk about it a bit and see what we're going to do. Yeah.
Okay.
So watch this space. Join the Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter. Something will come up.
Yeah. Cool.
Apart from that, no, nothing.
Head over to Patreon as well. That keeps our lights on. We desperately need some people joining up there because we've had some big bills come out, which I was not expecting. It's one of these every 2 year type things that come along. You're like, oh, is it time to pay for that now, is it? Oh, okay, fair enough. Didn't realise. I'm waiting for the WordPress one to come through as well. That's going to be a hefty one soon. So yeah, if you want to help us out, please head over to patreon.com/Rogue2Media, sign up for $1, and then, drop a thing and you get these episodes earlier than everyone else that gets it on Apple Podcasts and stuff.
All the other stuff as well.
All the other stuff as well. Yep. Yeah. Like the Deck Chairs and Dirty Air, which will be coming back fairly soon. I think in March that will be coming back. That's when the Formula One starts again. So, yeah, head over there. Help us out. What else do we have? Have the Facebook group, Black Dog Podcast. Head over there and download 500 odd episodes of the Black Dog Podcast. It's all there for your listening needs. Jim Moon, he does Hypnagoria. Please go give him a like and review and stuff like that. The Great Derelict, go give that a like and review. I'm also on the Into the Expanse, the Grand Prix podcast, obviously Shonky Lab, and Band of Brothers podcast there was, the Earth to the Moon as well, and there's a few others as well. You've been doing this quite a long time, it turns out. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. So thank you once again, Lee, for helping us out on this. It's been good.
You're welcome. Anytime.
And it just leaves me to say, please leave quietly. This is a residential area.